My name is Patrick from Frameless Meditation, and in this video, in just a few simple steps, you'll learn how to use the tool known as the life wheel as a way to bring more clarity into your life, a sense of priority of how can I bring more of myself into life. Because most fundamentally, we are what we long for. This is the key and core insight of Zen coaching, is that what we're looking for and longing for in life is already part of our inherent being. It is part of who we are. It's the state of being that is independent of our circumstances in our lives. So when we do this work, it's important, of course, to stay attuned with the present moment, with the felt sense in the body, with our emotions, and to learn to trust the unfoldment of the present moment. But as an addition and support, it can be really helpful to have a tool such as the life wheel in order to have a broad perspective, a 360 view of life. Because what might happen is that in a session, you might focus in on something that's alive in order to avoid something else. Yeah, so sometimes we don't want to look at the areas where we most need or long for some change. So this can help with that. Now, the first step is to draw the wheel itself and to divide it into the areas of life that matters. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. I've done 9 categories here based on four areas of life, where there's the community aspect, there is the vocation, the self-expression, and health. But you can do this in your own way, and you can find templates online. So the first step is draw your life wheel, leave some space in the middle, and also divide it into the areas that make sense to you. Okay, now, so the next step is to start a little self-reflection. And that is, for each of the areas of life, you start a reflection and see how satisfied am I with this domain in life right now. You just take a moment to sense in, and it's not about some permanent mark, it's not set in stone. It's in the moment. How am I feeling about this now? How satisfied am I between 0 and 10? Okay, so you go through each area and you rate yourself on the level of satisfaction. Okay, so now we have the wheel and we've done the self-reflection, and by now probably you already have some insight into where there might be an imbalance in life and where you might like to focus. So the next step now is to go a little bit deeper, and that is to ask yourself, what is the need underneath? What am I longing for? So for each of the areas, you might go through and ask, what would it give me if I felt satisfied with my money situation? This is an important step in separating the need from the strategy. Okay, so the money, having more money in the bank account, for example, is a strategy for something. And what would that give me? If I felt a 10 out of 10, what qualities in life would that give me? And that is the key step in accessing these more inherent, fundamental, essential states within ourselves, because we see that we're no longer bound by the strategies, by the number on the account in this example. But we start to see, what am I longing for here? What is the quality that I want? So for example, for me, if I had more money, that might mean, for example, that I would have a greater sense of responsibility or a sense of security, or I might have a sense of contribution, of being able to support for my family or my community. So we're digging deeper here, and for each of the area, see if you can identify the deeper need by asking yourself, what would it give me if I had a 10 out of 10 here? What is the quality underneath? Okay, so we have the wheel, we've done the reflection, and hopefully also identified the needs and the longings underneath. So we've gone from the particular strategies into seeing what are the qualities that I'd like to bring into life. And this is the Zen way of coaching, is to see that we're already whole as beings. It is part of who we are. These needs and these longings are in internal states that we can live from, and they're not dependent on having certain strategies met. So this is where we can be a little bit more playful, and we can start to see, what are ways that I can bring more of those qualities in. knowing that it's not ultimately about the external circumstance or the strategy, but they can be supportive. So it can be a helpful and playful process to identify for each area what are some specific things I can do? What are strategies I can bring about in order to live more fully, to bring myself more into each of these domains in life? So, this is the key. It's not about going from the outside in, trying to fill holes by having more friends or this perfect relationship or more money in the bank account, but it's going from the inside out and seeing what are the qualities I'd like to express in these different domains. And of course, it goes both ways, right? We can find strategies and circumstances in life that support this, with the knowledge also that it is reflecting and contacting these states within us and seeing how can I bring that into life. So it's going from the inside out, right? So just to summarize, first you find the wheel and the different domains, the pieces of the pie. You rate, reflect, and find the level of satisfaction in each of them. And then based on that, you identify and dig deeper. What are the longings here? What are the qualities I'd like to live in these different domains? And from that place, being more action oriented and seeing what are some strategies I can do to bring those qualities more into life, knowing that they are already part of who you are. And we just need this process of unlocking. And this can be a deep journey also. And if you find yourself called to going deeper into this work of self-discovery, feel free to reach out. I work with Zen coaching individual sessions. And you can also find more information and material on my website as well. So feel free to check that out. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I wish you good luck in this process. All the best.